Hey guys, this is Nod Lambers of Invoked 101. Welcome back, and today we are taking a look at my updated Skull Servant deck profile. So this is a deck that I didn't think I was going to be breaking out anytime soon, but with the new Whitemare, not the new Whitemare card, but with Whitemare's first ever reprint, this deck is super accessible now. So I figured I might as well do a deck profile for those guys who are looking for that updated Skull Servant profile, or people looking to actually pick up Skull Servants now that Whitemare is not I believe he was like going up to $20 for the playset for a set of commons, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, so here it is. This is before we get into it, down in the description there is a link to our Patreon, our Cash App, our Ko-fi, our Discord, and our Teespring. So if you feel like checking those out and supporting the channel, down there, that's how to do it. You can also support us by checking out Send Calamity and picking up some of these stickers. You can use my code Invoked101, all caps, to get 20% off. He has not only Yu-Gi-Oh themed stickers, but he has other ones as well, so go check him out. Again, link in the description. With that said, I'm going to set the extra deck and the spells and traps off to the side, and we'll get right into the main deck monsters. Sorry if the camera's a little weird, it just took like a nosedive, it was really weird. Anyway, starting us off, we have 3 King of the Skull Servants. You can see I'm using the Speed Duel Super Rares because they're nice. Anyways, so this guy, the original attack of this card is the combined number of King of the Skull Servants and Skull Servant in your graveyard times 1,000. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can banish one other King of the Skull Servants or one Skull Servant from your graveyard, special summon this card. And that text is the same for non-Speed Duel versions before you guys ask. The only reason I'm playing the Speed Duel ones is because it's the highest rarity King of the Skull Servant that exists. So we have him, very nice, the main boss monster of the deck. Basically, you can get this thing up to, I believe, 17,000 attack. You can get him super big. But anyways, after him, we play the newest addition to the Skull Servant deck, which is White Princess. This card's actually kind of old at this point. She's from Raging Tempest. But anyways, that doesn't make her any less good. She has she's a light, which is kind of awkward. Level 3 zombie, 16-0, and her effect is this card's name becomes Skull Servant while it's in the graveyard. That's an effect shared by most of the white monsters. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one White Prince from your deck to the graveyard. That is not a once per turn, which is amazing. Then it says, during either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. All monsters currently on the field lose attack and defense equal to the level/rank times 300 until the end of this turn, which is pretty crazy. It's actually a pretty significant drop because it's like level 8 times 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 24. They lose 2,400 attack. So that's nuts. While King of the Skull Servants will literally only lose 300. So while he's sitting at like 5,000, so he'll be 47. No, she's great. And the fact that her sending White Prince isn't once per turn is really good as well. Speaking of White Prince, of course, we have to play 3 of him. I believe this guy is from Duelist Alliance. Really kind of an old card, but really easy to get up your hands on. His effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Skull Servant and one Lady in White from your hand and or deck to the graveyard. You can banish 2 Skull Servants and this card from the graveyard, special summon one King of the Skull Servants from your deck. This card's name becomes Skull Servant while it's in the graveyard. So basically, non-once per turn, sending 2 monsters from the deck. Same, White Princess, she effectively sends 3 cards to the graveyard. And it doesn't matter if he's linked away, it doesn't matter if he's discarded off of Twin Twisters, it does not matter. As long as he gets put in the graveyard, his effect goes off. It is insane, and he's honestly one of the best cards in the deck. And we kind of build our extra deck into focusing around normal summoning him and then linking him away in a lot of cases. So it helps that he's 0/0. And of course, since we're playing 3 Prince, we have to play 3 of the vanilla old Skull Servant. The 300-200 zombie, a skeletal ghost that isn't strong but can mean trouble in large numbers, which is kind of where the King of the Skull Servants stat line comes from. Then we have 3 Lady in White. Actually, this is kind of a new one up there. Other than the other 2 like really old looking ones I have. But yeah, so Lady in White, her effect is face up level 3 or lower zombies you control, except the Lady in White cannot be destroyed by battle and are unaffected by the effects of spell and trap cards. This card's name becomes Skull Servant while it's in the graveyard. This is another really cool card. There's actually some stuff you can do with There's some stuff you can do with Unizombie where like you special summon her in defense because she actually has 2200 defense, and kind of use her along with like Dark Hole and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. Lastly, the last Skull Servant we play is 3 White Mare. I bumped up my commons to ultras because the ultras are a little nicer. But yeah, White Mare used to be like a really expensive common because they only had 1 printing out of Star Strike Blast. So White Mare's effect, why is this card why was it such an expensive common? Its effect is this card becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. You can discard this card, then activate one of the following effects. Target a banished Skull Servant or White Mare, return it to the graveyard. Target one of your banished Lady in White or King of the Skull Servants and special summon it. Basically, you can use this to get back things, specifically Lady in White, to help bolster your board and get free link materials. That isn't why it was expensive. It was expensive because it was an old card that was kind of mandatory in Skull Servants if you wanted to play it better, because it's a nice little piece of recovery. But now with it being reprinted in Dual Overload, because I don't know who thought to put it in there, but thank God, because now it's cheap. There we go. As far as other support goes, so we're gonna move these guys off to the side. As far as other support goes, like zombie monsters, we are playing 3 Unizombie. Unizombie is like obvious for a zombie deck. It's just a tuner that sends stuff from the deck to the grave. Then we also have 2 Mizuki. I'm only playing 2. I found like after multiple rounds of playing this deck, you only need 2. You really only need 2. And then a new addition, Samurai Skull. This guy's kind of cool. He's like a 4th copy of Unizombie in a lot of ways. Mainly in the way that if this card is normal summoned, you can send 1 zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. That is the main reason. Then if this face-up card in someone's control leaves the field because of opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower zombie monster from your deck except Samurai Skull. This special summons King of the Skull Servant from the deck. That's the main reason we're using that. It sends White Prince and then summons King, so there we go. I thought Samurai Skull was a kind of neat little card to play. And with that, that is it for the main deck monsters. Moving into the spells, we are playing 3 Allure of Darkness. The entire deck is dark except for Mizuki and White Princess, so Allure of Darkness is an obvious choice. Let's us dig deeper. We are playing 3 Dark Hole. I believe Dark Hole's at 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Dark Hole's at 3. And the reason we're playing 3 Dark Hole is because of the King of the Skull Servants. He gets like stupid big, so basically just going to be able to board wipe your opponent and then swing for like 7,000 plus a White Princess is pretty good. So yeah, 3 Dark Hole. We are playing 2 Book of Life. This card says special summon 1 zombie monster from your graveyard in face-up attack or defense position and remove 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard from play. Basically that equivalates to special summon 1 zombie from your graveyard and banish 1 card from your opponent's banish 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard. So pretty cool. Pretty cool little Monster Reborn-like card. I'm also playing 2 Burial from a Different Dimension. What this does, it says target up to 3 banished monsters, return them to the graveyard. White Prince banishes himself and 2 Skull Servants. So basically, White Prince, link into Link Kuriboh, banish 3, summon King, activate this, you have a 3,000 King of Skull Servants. This and White Prince is a 2-card combo for a 3,000 King. Very, very cool. I'm also playing 2 Twin Twisters. Again, just another card, you discard White Prince off of it. This is very much a going second deck. I don't know if you've noticed. But yeah, so White Prince, you discard off of Twin Twisters, pop some back row, White Prince effects, send some cards. Very easy. And then for the 1-ofs, Foolish Burial. Man, I wonder what that's for. 1 for 1, this summons King of the Skull Servants. Monster Reborn, this reborns King of the Skull Servants, and Card Destruction. This discards White Prince. It also loads your graveyard with Skull Servants. So that's the main reason we're playing it. Yeah, it's all pretty obvious in my opinion. So there we go. That's it for the spells and traps. Unfortunately, whites don't have any spell and trap support, which really sucks. There's no actual card that straight up supports them. There's no card that says Skull Servant monsters in your graveyard or whatever, even though they have like a full deck of monsters. So hopefully we get like a white spell card or a white trap card or something, hopefully in the future. But moving into the extra deck, you saw him at the beginning of the video. 1 Relinquished Anima. This card is really cool, especially for a going second deck. You normal summon a White Prince, link it away, send 2, this card, steal a card. It's very much very nice. So, Relinquished Anima, if you don't know what it does, it requires one level 1 monster, accept a token. It says you can target one face-up monster. This card points to, equip that face-up monster to this card. You can only use this effective Relinquished Anima once per turn. This card gains attack equal to the equipped monsters. It's kind of like the new version. It's literally new and better Relinquished. Alongside that, another card that requires level 1, Link Kribo, so we can make that. Salamangre Almirage, this card, it needs a normal summon monster that's less than 1,000 attack, or 1,000 or less attack, so of course, we can link White Mare into this. 2 Vampire Sucker, it's the zombie link, so it was kind of obvious. 1 Almiraire, or Almiraire, the Star Leader Dragon. This card is kind of different. It needs 2 effect monsters and cannot be used as link material. You target one face-up monster. This card points to special summon monster with the same original level from your hand to the zone this card points to in defense, but negate its effects. Basically, this is to get out cards, just get out more Skull Servants from the hand, link them away into other things, etc., etc. That's the main reason that's here. This isn't a full extra deck. I believe this is about 10 cards or something like that. So there's 6. Yeah, it's 10 cards. I'm playing 1 Shogun Saga because it gains attack and gets big. 1 Beals because we can summon it. 1 Omega because, again, we can summon it and it's a zombie deck, so Omega works perfect. And 1 Void Ogre Dragon because we actually do go through our hand pretty quick in this deck. Outside of these cards, this is what I would consider like probably the yes, you want to play this type stuff. You can play the other 5 cards literally open to whatever you want to play. Just because one of the big reasons I don't have 5 other cards is I couldn't find more of these sleeves. But to be honest, Skull Servants don't need it. They really don't. The only cards I would consider mandatory are like the cards like this, where they get White Prince off the field instantly. So that's really all you need outside of like, yeah, that's actually it. And with that said, that is it for the Skull Servant deck. I hope you guys like this. The Skull Servants are one of those decks that I break out every now and then because it is a really fun deck. It's so much fun to play and just like have around. So I'm really happy to actually have this deck. So with that said, before I let you guys go, down in the description there's a link to our Patreon, our Teespring, our Cash App, our Ko-fi, and our Discord. So if you feel like checking those out, all those are down in the description. If you feel like supporting the channel, also be sure to check out Send Calamities stickers. Using my code Invoked101, you can get 20% off those. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.